the town that I live in is one town over from basically what is like practically the heroin capital of my state.
Got it.
So, and the way
Hop,
that
skip, and a jump to go shopping.
Yeah, exactly. And even though I didn't really know any dealers there, it is kind of like an open market over there. So what I did in order to figure out where I could find heroin was I actually went on that city's police log, and I looked at all the arrests for Class A substances.
Wow.
I looked at the addresses, and I basically triangulated it to like this one central location. I went to that spot, and sure enough,
Jesus
found
Christ.
somebody to sell me that stuff in like 5 minutes. You're telling me
that you use the police logs essentially as the yellow pages to find drug dealers?
Pretty much.
Wow. As I've discovered, in order to get methadone in a lot of these methadone clinics, particularly what's happening here in Washington and particularly Everett, I posted a picture of a mountain of needles that from one camp that was cleaned up. That in order to get methadone, you simply have to walk into the clinic and say, "I'm an addict." Is this true?
It is, but I just don't think that suboxone and methadone are things that people should be on for years and years. And the thing was, I was on suboxone for 3 years. I was with a suboxone clinic, and there were so many ways to cheat.
Tell me about
that program. Well, okay, so with suboxone, it's not like methadone where you come in every single day. You come in like once a week, once every 2 weeks if you've been, well behaved enough on the program. And they give you a script for, 7 to 14 days worth of suboxone. Now, you come in and they give you a urine test to make sure that you've been clean. But here's the thing.
Clean from suboxone or clean from everything else?
Clean from heroin.
But heroin's out of your system in like hours, isn't it?
No, actually, heroin stays in your system for about 4 to 6 days.
Okay. All right.
Which means, let's say, you come in on Monday, to get your suboxone. They give you the urine test, comes back negative for the heroin. Well, great. So they handed you your prescription for suboxone. You go on your merry way. And now you can get high on heroin that day because by next Monday, it will be out of your system as long as you don't use again after that day.
So I could use the heroin, coast on the suboxone, get some more suboxone, use the heroin, coast on the suboxone, repeat.
Exactly. You could have like a nice little orderly schedule where you use heroin once, maybe twice a week and get away with it.
And okay,
they won't know.
All right. So my math is coming out. Are you telling me that entire situation could be avoided if they simply tested inside the time it takes heroin to get out of your system?
Yeah, they had you just come in like
twice a week instead of once a week
for the testing. Then yeah, but they only do that to people that keep like violating the urine test.
Okay.
When it would actually make more sense to do it to everybody.
I am tripping balls over what you just told me. The solution is that simple. I mean, I understand this doesn't solve everything, but in terms of just handing out free drugs, suboxone specifically, and keeping them on it forever and anon, while claiming for it to be treatment, it could largely be solved just by having them come in twice a week instead of once.
Well, I mean, as far as people cheating on it, then yeah, it could be stopped by having people come in more often. And so that's the thing, is that it's very easy. I mean, it can enable people to continue using.
What? And it's almost like asking for an invitation. If it's 4 to 6 days, that means 1 week is like 1 day after it's out of your system.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so that's what I used to do for like 3 years. Was I would use once a week.
Okay.
So it was the one time that I had control over my habits. But even that kind of, went to shit eventually, and I ended up getting thrown off the suboxone program.
How long did it take for you to get thrown off?
It took about 2 years.
2 years.
Got thrown off of the first one. Got thrown off of the first one.
Oh, and then there was a second one.
There was a second one that I continued to do up until I checked into rehab for the first time back in September of 2016.
We have to observe that there's some other similar cheat that's occurring with methadone because people are also staying on it for years and years. Am I right?
Yeah. Another thing is that I think a lot of people will also say, "Oh no, I need a higher dose," so they end up getting prescribed much higher doses than they need. And one of the things that I've seen.
Sorry, wait. You're leaving me in the dust again.
Sorry.
So you're saying that if I want more methadone, all I have to say is I want more methadone. Like, the amount that you gave me last time wasn't enough. You need to give me more than that.
Yep. Exactly. I mean, there really is no medical way to test whether, people are in withdrawal aside from, taking their word for it.
Unreal.
I mean, maybe one day they'll have some kind of machine that can, monitor people's brain waves or whatever. But until then, all we have is people's word.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like the methadone or even the suboxone should only be allowed once you're in detox.
I agree.
Once someone can look and be like, okay, this person has had it for 2 days, or 3, or however long it is, it's time to start taking them off it.
Right, stepping down. And that is exactly how it works when you're in detox. In fact, there were a couple times where I actually detoxed myself with some leftover suboxone strips. Although I
because you knew how to do it.
Yeah, but I ended up relapsing because, I just didn't have a plan.